Are you serious? Spiders? I don't like spiders and snakes. I don't like any of that. Folks, there is 2 people dead after swarms of venomous spiders have invaded towns in India. And I'm going to be talking about that tonight. Tonight, Sunday Night Live. We're back here in our studios here in Indiana, and so we'll be broadcasting tonight live at paulbegleyprophecy.com. That's www.paulbegleyprophecy.com. That's www.paulbegleyprophecy.com. We're going to be talking about killer venomous spiders in India.
Wow. Whatever's going on with YouTube, it's not good. You can hear rattling. It's fragmented.
Taking over 2 towns completely. We're also going to be talking about a typhoon that's coming on Japan. What does that mean? Well, they got 20 volcanoes that have become active after being dormant since the March 11/11 earthquake. But what does this mean? A typhoon? Do they need that now? No. Not with the radiation issues and these 6 reactors that are melting down the nuclear. Oh, no. So, we're going to be talking about the zombie apocalypse. We're going to be talking about the microchip and a whole lot more tonight on Sunday Night Live at paulbegleyprophecy.com. That's paulbegleyprophecy.com. Where Blog TV, livestream.com, and at my website, www.paulbegleyprophecy.com from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tonight. We'll be sharing how these current world events match up with Bible prophecy. And how does that relate to where you stand with the Word of God? See you tonight, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern at Paul Begley.
Wow, that was Pastor Paul Begley. I don't like the way the sound is. I don't like the way it's fragmented. And it's echoing. And this is bad. And I'm noticing all kinds of stuff going on. Be aware. Moving on. Here's another one I want you to see.
D'une longueur monotone. Je répète, laisse mon cœur d'une longueur monotone.
Hey everybody, Dead Sense here. 8:03 p.m. Central Time on Saturday, June 2nd, 2012. And I'm over here on College of DuPage looking at the visible satellite 2KM view of Mexico. And I'm doing the video as promised. I said I was going to wait for another day to see if it occurred again, and it did occur again. If you're new to this, what I'm talking about is a series of steam plumes. Not smoke plumes from fires, but actual steam that returns on radar as a thunderstorm, and in some cases even producing strong cells and hail. Over the past 2 weeks has erupted from the same spot for at least the last 2 weeks. And roughly this area right here, let me just go ahead and show you. This is at the border of Texas and Mexico, right here. Now this is just one area of many that I've been focusing on, watching to see if indeed it would occur at the same time each day. And what I've discovered is something that's quite phenomenal. It may already be known in some meteorology circles. However, I do want to bring it to your attention to show you what's going on. And it doesn't just happen here. It happens in the southwest U.S. at several drilling sites or dormant volcano sites. And what...
Oh, I guess it's pausing. It's echoing. Very bad, crappy sound. I would like to thank YouTube and Adobe Flash Player 11. and also Java. Now, let's put those names out. I don't know why this is stopped. That doesn't look like it's loading. Nothing but problems on YouTube. Maybe it's a full moon. I think it is. Let me see if I can do something about this. I mean, it's just getting worse and worse. It was fine when I wasn't recording it. When I hit record, this is crap. Nope, it just froze. Look at that. I'd like to also thank Bright House as a provider. He's probably, it's echoing because obviously it's being monitored or something. Or something. We're gonna.
What I believe is occurring.
Here we go. We got it going now. With my virtual low memory, every time you try to record something, beware on the video editor. That's YouTube. Oh, good going. That's part of it.
That means is, over time, just like Hawaii is producing multiple islands from the same rough spot in the crust that's weak, and as the plate moves, new islands are formed. Well, the same thing has happened for volcanoes. Yellowstone being a good example as well. Yellowstone puts off a caldera, and then a few 100,000 years goes by, and a new caldera goes further eastward than the previous one, and that's left in a chain as well. You guys can go look that up. But I digress. Let's get into this some more. You see it come out from around the entire area and then directly from the volcano center itself. I'm going to put my mouse right over the volcano center. Okay, when you see it here, here's the volcano center. I'm not going to move it. And you just... There we go. Okay, it gives off a couple different slight plumes. Now let me unzoom it. And you'll see that it doesn't just occur there. It occurs at several spots down through Mexico, and even going up into Texas. Now to see it better on Texas, let's go ahead and, well, let's look at Mexico first, the entire country of Mexico, and then we'll go look at Texas, and then we'll look at a few other areas around the planet that are also doing the same thing at the same time each day. Okay, here it is right here. You can see it flare up off Mexico. This is not a normal cloud event. This is not a normal weather event. I truly believe these are coming from ground-based sources. In other words, the magma is coming up deep in the ground and interacting with the water table, producing a steam event that produces storms and hail. It's a huge, phenomenal discovery. Now, also, it occurs up here in Texas, so let's go look at that next. Let's go to the 1KM products right here in the western portion of Texas. We're going to turn on visible satellite. Now, some people might say, well, are these coming directly out of the ground? I think what may occur is, since it's over such a large area, you're looking at least a couple miles, that it could indeed come up from the ground invisible, and at 1,000 feet or 2,000 feet be enough that it forms into cloud precipitation. The other possibility is that it's methane or CO2 of some kind that, again, once it rises to a certain level, then produces a huge amount of cloud formation, almost like a chemtrail would. You got to figure they use petroleum products in chemtrails. I'm sure there's some kind of natural gas that could indeed produce huge cloud formations like we're seeing. Now look here in New Mexico. That's not a fire. That is not the fire. The fire is far to the west over here where my mouse would be. Let's go look at it. Let's go to the 1KM products here in New Mexico. And I've been watching this for almost 2 weeks now, guys. This is not just one day's event. This has been happening for 2 weeks. All right, now you see them. They just literally kick off, flare up, and then are gone. They stop as soon as they start, not like a typical formation. Now, also in Texas, up here in the north part of Texas, north of Amarillo, all the way up to the border, these have been occurring as well. and they've been occurring from oil fields. What you'll have to do is the same thing that I have done over the past 2 weeks, which is to go look these locations up on Google Earth. Now, you can go look up the Mexico locations. This is very interesting as well. Down here at the same time, about a week and a half ago when we first started noticing this occur, some occurred here in Texas and further up in Texas at Hot Springs area, Chahonte Hot Springs, and further north at the Markagunt Plateau, and that's up in southern Utah. Okay? Now let me show you what I discovered worldwide, and you guys can go verify this. You do not have to take my word for it. What we're going to do is we're going to turn on the infrared loop, and it's going to show us the last several days around the entire planet. And what you'll see is the dark color, as the dark color goes around, that is the sun. Okay, you're seeing it literally heat up in the day. And let me slow this down so you can see it much better. And what you'll see each day is in central Mexico, going up through the volcanic known regions of the United States, at the same time each day, when the sun passes over, when it reaches a beyond zenith point, so halfway through the day, I'd say around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we start to see these steam plume events. Not regular storm events, but you can see it down here in Mexico. It's almost like it takes the shape of the known volcanic areas that are already present. And every day, it's like a steam engine. You see it puffing off. Okay, and it's only occurring at this spot down here to the south, and then today up here to the north. Now, if this was regular cloud precipitation, it would happen every day, all day, and it wouldn't just happen at some mountain ranges. It would happen all along the mountain ranges, and again, this is not weather-induced. This is happening, it literally is puffing out of the ground, is what I'm trying to say. Now you say, oh, that's just the United States. Well, watch as the sun goes around. And what you'll start to see is around the planet, over here in Saudi Arabia. This is Saudi Arabia up here where my mouse is. This is Africa. All right, this is India. And what you'll see is that when the sun reaches that same zenith point that it reaches down here in Mexico at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 2 o'clock in the afternoon over here in North Africa, if you were to go look this up, which I encourage you guys to go do, is to literally do the legwork and look this up. See where my mouse is here? Let me go ahead and do one of these examples for you so you guys know how to do it. What I'm trying to show you guys is a volcanic area here in North Africa that also is doing the same thing that's doing in southern Mexico and is also happening over here in Saudi Arabia. And all of these locations that are putting off that steam plume event are at the same time of the day are volcanic areas. Known volcanic areas, or areas where there's been deep penetration well drilling. So let's just get right into it. Let's go over here and look. Here is North Africa. All right, and let me center this to proper north. And we're going to come back over to the map, and you'll see it. Let me go ahead and turn on enhancement. And we'll just turn on regular color enhancement. And the first area we're going to look is south of this inlet here in North Africa. And then we'll come over from West Africa, and we're going to triangulate the position based upon where this is and this is, because we don't actually have a great layout. We're looking from far up in space. But you'll see this area right here. Okay, I'm going to place my mouse right where it is, a little bit to the right. Okay, and you'll see it erupt every day. That's not Congo, this is desert. Okay. And further south, you can expect that rainforest action that you're seeing down here. This is all in the tropics and rainforest. But further north, right here, where this is popping up every day, see at the same time each day, it's flaring off. So we need to come down from, it looks like the center, just a little bit south of the center, and then over here on the western portion of the coast, we can just come directly over and find the area in question. All right, so let's just do that. Okay, here's Gibraltar, where my mouse is here. Let's come down from there to the first dip off the west coast of Africa, and then come due east, and match up with this southern portion of this inlet here. And this is the only way we can do it, guys. This is kind of low tech. So here's Gibraltar up here. We're coming down to the first dip somewhere in this region, and then we're coming over. All right, and that's going to put us somewhere in between this massive volcano here and this massive volcano here. And what's in between there is a huge lavic rift field area that's massive. It goes over many miles. You can see the coloration. It's definitely a huge rift area that exists between these two known volcanic regions. So let me just back that out, and you can see again, let's go back on College of DuPage, and we're coming down, and we're matching up with this inlet right here over. All right, so we are right in this region here. Again, over from this dip. So let's come back over. Here's the dip, coming over, and we're coming at an angle, of course. So that puts it right here. And you see it. It's a massive volcanic area. All right, now if it was just that and it was just Mexico, you might still be able to say it's a coincidence. But let's just look over here on the coast of Saudi Arabia. And let's come over and look once again. Here's Saudi Arabia, and you'll see at the same time each day, just wait for it, blowing contrary sometimes to the prevailing winds, which shows you it's at surface level. And we're right here at the center portion of the coast each day. Watch where my mouse is. Especially that last right here, okay? So let's just match it up. All right, we come down to that first inlet, and here it is, a series of multiple volcanoes right in this region here, and even an earthquake swarm cluster right here. So between it all, I would say that if you put all these events together, what this means is that it's kind of a new phenomenal discovery, which is every day as the sun passes over, once it reaches a certain point, it is pulling that magma higher into the Earth's crust and interacting with deep water, producing steam events over large areas that don't come out like a typical fumarole or a geyser, but come out like steam precipitation off the peak of a mountain. But instead of forming into a normal low pressure system, it actually steams off, as you're seeing happen each day here. It's producing hail and damaging winds and then disappearing and burning off like typical steam would. Okay? I don't know what to make of it, guys. I don't know if it means that we're going to be seeing some large earthquake activity. Is it a sign of volcanic uptick? It has been going on for a very long time, and we just haven't noticed it, and nobody's done the legwork to go look up and see if each of these areas are volcanic. Or maybe people don't want to seem foolish by raising this theory, this hypothesis, that it could indeed be volcanically produced precipitation coming from the ground. And that might actually help some weather forecasters. Put that into your model if you're doing modeling for precipitation, and that might solve your missing equation that's not making sense. That also might explain, if it just started recently, it might explain our strange weather patterns, our warming, our high CO2 levels. And one last thing, speaking of high CO2 levels, I've got to show you what's going on at Pisgah Crater. This has been happening now for the last day. This started, you can see it's clear right now. Let me just go ahead and play the visible satellite first, and then we're going to go look at radar. And you can clearly see that it's a clear day. And let me turn on the roads and rivers. And the area you're going to want to look is right here. Let me just show you again. Right here in this region here. And you can see no clouds. All right. Now we're going to come over to radar. We're going to turn radar on for the last 48 images. And what you're going to see, let me turn on the roads and rivers again. What you're going to see is the Pisgah Crater region giving off a plume again, but it's not visible. It's only on radar, which means that it is either CO2 or methane. It's definitely volcanic related. It's not military. You can't see it. So whatever this is, it's coming from a volcanic area, and it's only showing on radar, which means that we're starting to see activity here at Pisco region as well, which is not surprising to me because down south, just south in Mexico, let me just show you one last time how much steam is erupting out of these areas. And we'll turn this down so you can watch it. All right, now remember, this is starting in the AM this morning at sunrise and going all day, and then it's literally at the same time across the entire country going up into Texas, a steam plume event. And here is that volcano in question that we showed you at the beginning of the start of the video. And look here in Texas. Just look at that in Texas. Watch it. Literally, looks like a steam engine, a locomotive. Those are not fires. Okay, folks, hang in there, and if you get any confirmation stories or any videos showing this, obviously let me know. But I've already searched and searched and searched and searched, and I cannot find one single video showing anything of any kind of cloud formation. You think if there were hailstorms or steam plumes coming up, people would get video of that. So you search it, and it comes up absolutely nothing, which to me is highly suspect in itself. But hang in there, folks. Much love.
Wow. This is One for the Record. I'm Diana. And today, let me get you back here. I want you to see that. Today is June 3rd, 2012. It is Sunday evening, and that was the first one was Pastor Paul Bagley. Paul Bagley 34, that's his channel, giving you a heads up on the news. And that was done since with the weather, and there was like an alien translation going on simultaneously in the background. That's actually what it sounded like an alien translation of some sort in the background. Yeah, we're not supposed to show products. Let's just turn it around so you can't see any product names. Gosh, it's warm in here. Alrighty then. Ooh. Let's move on. But that in the background was, you hear blah, blah, blah. Sounds like something out of the movie Signs. But I want to give credit. Credit where credit is due. Look at all that stuff in the background. I'm trying to line this up so you don't get bothered with all that distraction in the background. There you go. It's kind of messy. But I was cleaning up and moving stuff around. Haven't put it away yet because I just piled it up off the floor so I could vacuum. And off the tables. So, yes, that sounded like something out of Signs for you sci-fi fans. You know, let me pull the other sleeve. I was just so hot in front of the computer after a while. Alrighty then, let's see. Let's first go with, looks like the sound looks more normal now. Heads up. Big problems with uploading. Heads up, YouTube and YouTube channelers, because first of all, when you go in and do anything after you publish it, go back in and check your tabs. I note that some of them had no search tags, TAG tags on it on some of my videos, so you'll notice there's like only 10 views because the tags were like totally off of it, the search tags. So if you do anything, like you change the title, you change a thumbnail, you change anything after you publish it, go ahead and sign out, go back in and see what the viewers see, and go into more, and you better check your searches, because when people start searching your channel, they're not going to be able to find it, and all those tags are useless when they're totally gone or you only got 2 words on there. Also, I updated my YouTube asked me to, some of your plugins, or expired on your page here, please update with the latest version and latest updates for Java and Adobe. It's like an Adobe player that you need. You need these, or all of a sudden it's going to say you're outdated and you can't even see anything. So I updated my stuff, and now my lips again does not match my face. Also, there's like all these incredible scene changes, which causes and proven to cause ADD, attention deficit disorder. If you notice your television and you stare at it long enough, you'll notice that the scenes will keep changing. I'm noticing now, maybe YouTube has been tainted by these new upgrades of Adobe Player and Java. No good. No good at all. Because somehow when you watch the video, it seems like it's changing scenes, even though it's simultaneously constant. My camera now is not moving, but the picture might be being, fragmented. The voice is not matching the lips anymore. Alright, and I'm noticing it on other people's videos also. So heads up. It might, you don't want to watch it too long, or step back, kind of look at it, but don't stare at it unless it's something important now. Especially if it's a commercial. How's that? How's that, Google advertising? If you better make sure this is all upgraded correctly and that everyone's voice matches their lips and all that, because people are not going to watch your ads because, we don't catch the ADD problem and short circuit our brains from too many scene changes. First they'll move this way, then the camera will give you a different angle, then it'll give you another angle. Go ahead and count that. Go ahead and count. I've actually counted a commercial that almost had 45 scene changes in like a matter of a few. It was like only less than a minute long, and there's like 45 of them, and just kept changing scenes, which is bad for your brain. Not like the old black and white movies that you could fall asleep to because the camera will pan. It's not fragmented. It stays on the picture. Your brain can focus on it. Your eyes can focus on it. It's not like doing the flash thing. So go ahead and watch the newer TV shows and see how they ruined them, and why you're getting a headache or don't feel well after watching this. Watching a program or watching that the lips aren't matching. I see that all the time, Bright House, on the cable shows. I'm watching the cable news or watching cable TV. I can watch it, but the lips are not in sync with the voice, the audio. And no, that's being purposely done. Fix the problem. Fix the problem. That's my consumer activist part. Also, let's get into the news. There's some scary news out there. It's like we're living in the horror movie times. I'm telling you, it's the horror movie times. Alright, here we go. Extinction Protocol 2012. Storm clouds gather as diplomacy fails. Iran promises lightning response to any Israeli attack. Now it's today. New World Order. Europe hammers out plan for new financial confederacy of Eurozone states. And that's when Jean-Claude Trichet, or Trichet, excuse me, called last June for the creation of a European finance ministry with power over national budgets and the idea seemed financial district dream that would take years or even decades to realize. Yes. Next. Let's see, what else is going on? Oh, the current theory of continental drift provides a good model for understanding terrestrial processes through history. And then they said something about it took about 3 billion years, but originally we didn't have any tectonic plates. And something dynamically happened to the Earth, be it some kind of basically being something happened and maybe hit the Earth, something's happened and caused the landmass to crack, causing today's continental drift theory. But originally supposedly there were no tectonic plates. New study says original Earth did not have tectonic plates. There was a dramatic shift in dynamics on Earth. And that was like 3.2 billion years ago. Northern Italy rattled by 7 tremors in one day. That was today. It was reported. And let's see, this is by Reuters. Excuse me. Large tornado outbreak hits U.S. East Coast. 9 tornadoes reported. And this is coming out of Maryland. And here's another thing. Authorities still searching for answers behind May 27th mysterious booms and explosions in Michigan. And that's a YouTube video on here, but I had a problem playing that also. It's too stagnant. It's too choppy. Earth hit by mild geomagnetic storm. More sunspots emerge on sun. And this is one of the worst ones of all. Okay? I might end up turning this around for you to see a picture of this thing. Looks almost like a cartoon character. With a head, maybe even like a big tongue hanging out. But it's not, that's its choppers. Indian village plagued by swarm of mysterious venomous spiders. And it took over a couple villages. This is in the Assam state. That it occurred the evening of May 8th. While celebrating a Hindu festival, swarms of spiders suddenly appeared and attacked the people. And this came out of the Times of India report. Okay, and 2 people died. A man, Pranaka Buragonian, Gohain, and a unnamed schoolboy died after being bitten by the spiders. Scores more turned up at town's hospitals with spider bites. They're not sure. Hey, they're not sure if this spider is poisonous, deadly venomous. But let me tell you something. All spiders, no matter what size they are, I've learned this, and I think it was biology. They all have a little bit of poison in them. Doesn't matter what size. Even the younger ones are worse than the older ones sometimes. Smaller ones are sometimes worse. Every spider has a little bit of toxin in it. And I gotta show you this picture. I hope you can see this. Look at this. I'm gonna hold it far away. Hopefully you can see this. I don't know. look at this thing. I hope you can see it. That's just scary. Looks like a little savage. That's like, looks like it has like a head. That's of some other kind of animal with 2 eyes in the front, bunch of little nose holes, and then the mouth with an extra mouth coming out of it. And I've seen weird stuff too in Florida. A lot of people months and months ago, maybe 8-9 months ago, or 10, I don't know. It was like a few months after the Fukushima ordeal, I believe, or 6 months after it. Saw a spider so huge, and then it ran up and it looked at me, and it ran like a crab, and it was beige, and it ran up, look at me, man. I screamed and sprayed that flea spray on him, and he kept trying to jump. He ran as fast as like a rat or something, or a mouse, trying to get out away from me. But first he ran up. Let me get this going. This is horrible. It's going in a little garage out in my little shed. And let me see if the picture's back on, because I can't monitor anything. Okay. It ran up. It ran up like this into the rafter. Looked at me. And I went, ah! And I sprayed it. This thing was bigger than my hand. And it walked sideways like a crab. It was like one of those little miniature spiders that you see in the garden. Not the kind that have a web. Kind of runs around the stones and stuff. And this thing was about, I don't know, twice the size of my hand. It was like insanity. And then also saw another one over by like one of the stores. Hopefully it didn't run off of my car. It was running down the street, and it didn't look like a wolf spider. It looked like one of those little spiders that have grown up like I don't know, maybe 10 times the size it normally would be, and it wasn't a wolf spider. I just went walking down the street. Everybody's going, look at that, look at that. So, and then someone else reported another one of the strange looking spiders in the convenience store, and the guy never saw anything like that. The pesticide guy. And it was like big. It's probably mutation of some kind from the radiation in the rain. Well, in India's way up there. And I hate spiders, but okay. But I guess they kill other stuff. But now if they're gonna jump at people and run at people, they made this thing looks like it has like an alien head on it or something. Like some kind of savage. Along with its pinchers in the front. This might be some kind of a DNA problem. Maybe it came out of a lab. I don't know. But this is a horrible thing. Also, 6.6 magnitude earthquake strikes sea floor just southwest of Panama. I'll say it again. 6.6 magnitude earthquake strikes sea floor just southwest of Panama. Okay then. Alrighty. Now we're going to move on. Let's see what's on sot.net. Again, if you see a lot of fragmented stuff and it's like, if you start feeling weird, just walk away and listen, just listen to it. But then, like, even with this audio, it sounded like an echo. It sounded also like it was being translated for some outer space alien visitors to understand what they're saying on YouTube. And Dutch Sense. It's a new meteorological find. And I think he's the best meteorologist out there. He really is. And he's discovered this, so I hope he gets full credit for the stuff coming out of the steam coming out of the volcanoes and stuff when the sun hits it. But now you can see how it rained for 40 days and 40 nights, huh? Winter hits Europe. Stockholm has coldest day in 84 years. Sweden coldest temperature in 20 years. That's today. Showing piles and piles of snow. Now, USGS earthquake magnitude 6.2 south of Panama. Let's see if that's the same one. See, know how it's always USGS and it goes down. Let's downgrade it. I would think whatever the first thing is, and with the spike, instead of averaging it out, that's just what it is when it hit. You know? What's this changing? Why don't you correct your instruments then and don't downgrade it? Why don't we have the instruments right the first time around instead of having to adjust figures for some reason? Firefighters make progress against historic New Mexico blaze. China's sinkhole forces 844 to evacuate. They had to evacuate their homes, which have been deemed unsafe. This is the Huffington Post. .5 meters, which is 5 feet deep and 8 feet wide. Stay or go. Some towns are eyeing retreat from sea. Wow, where's this at? In this photo from Thursday, May 24th, the parking lot at Ocean Beach is shown in San Francisco. And it shows there's a parking lot, but it shows that the, it's like breaking off and falling into the ocean. And it says here, up and down California coast, some communities are deciding it's not worth trying to wall off the encroaching ocean. And also in California, up and down the coast, they have like tsunami signs. That didn't used to be there a few years ago. Okay, that's all done. Let's go into the watchers. Watching the world. There's some other stuff I was going to report on yesterday, and I can't remember what it is right now. So I might blurt it out in a little bit since I'm going live. No. Forgot what it was, but it was kind of just part of the rant that was kind of important. Can't remember right now. Probably wrote it down somewhere to remind myself, but I don't know where it is because of all this new news. Wow, first time ever. There's no new news. Let's get out of this one. We'll move faster as I close all the windows up. Okay, E&E News. Energy News. This is Fukushima News. Senator mortified about possible disaster at Unit 4 still shakes his head in disbelief over Fukushima visit 2 months ago. Wow, it's already been like at least 8 weeks. Has anything been done yet? Japan Representative TEPCO and the government have been telling lies to the people. Officials have hidden the real numbers or given wrong ones. Hey, heads up, New York Times. Who do you think is telling the truth? This statement here or the ones that you have not been reporting on that have come out from certain dignitaries? Japan radiation expert. My results show contamination has spread all over the country. Sure. Also, they've been burning, distributing it all through the country and burning the radioactive trees, fallout stuff, whatever's contaminated food. They've been sewage. They've been burning it up and putting the particles into the air, letting it blow all over the place. Yamamoto. If another big earthquake happens, it will be the end of this country. No, but a typhoon is on its way, and if it's strong enough, I'm sure it'll knock down whatever buildings are there, okay? So, another big earthquake. Well, but by the way, there is a typhoon coming that way. Local officials, 5 million becquerels per kilogram and no contamination. We can't eat food grown here, but we are forced to live here. Well, that sounds like crimes against humanity. Let's keep going. You know, and with Fukushima, what stupid, dumbed down. You're gonna put more radiation into our environment by having wars and stuff. Do you understand? The war is already on with Fukushima. It's like this big chimney just putting out stuff. Radioactive plutonium, cesium, xenon, all radiation. And you're gonna go, oh, let's go fire off some more nuclear weapons. Oh, but it's a weapon. So how is it safe to be by the populations? And everyone's getting nuked anyway from this stuff. And you're going to go launch wars with more of this stuff and put it in the atmosphere? Why? Why don't you guys wise up? Oh, but radiation can't be safe. They're using it as a weapon. Oh, here we go. Largest U.S. newspaper publisher. Enough radioactivity to poison millions in Fukushima Unit 4. Radiation to hit west coast of U.S. would be far more than trace amounts of fuel rods exposed, says Senator. What about the congressmen that are all up and down in California? Isn't there a bunch of congressmen? Are you getting exposed too? Do you understand that Fukushima has been going since March 11th? Maybe because you think it's invisible, it's not going to hurt you. Yeah. Yesterday, top 20 U.S. newspaper, the world's food chain could be compromised. Japan's radiation seems inescapable. You know, the testing time is over. Bitching about it is over. You gotta do something about it. The typhoon is gonna be there maybe in a few hours. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think time's up on, oh, well, this is what's happening. oh, we need more investigation, we need more figures. No, you're liable for all of this. And the people know this. Do you really think all of you are going to be reelected? Do you think none of you have been exposed and contaminated with radioactive food, air, traveling in your planes? I want you to think about that. Who are your consultants? I should have been your consultant long ago. And speaking of which, I did put a tip jar on the description of yesterday's video. So when you go into more, you'll see the tip jar there. I also put it in my feed comment, because on the old YouTube site, it was right there. You can read it along with the educational copyright thing, the title or whatever it is, that you can show some things if they're for educational purposes only. So it was originally in that. So just go on to my main page, go into feed, and it's one of the comments there. Also, it's in the description of yesterday's video. It just took me till 5 in the morning to adjust some of the things, But I did it. I didn't give up, but it took me till 5 in the morning. I got like 3 hours sleep before having to go play a gig early in the morning. If I played it for Jesus. So I can keep going like this, I guess. But if anyone would like to donate, please donate. Please tell all your friends to subscribe, and to, if you feel that this is okay and I'm showing you enough information, try to show you a wide, diverse amount of information. And please donate, because all federal extensions in California supposedly they don't qualify anymore for that. So, for the unemployment. So, a lot of people are in a panic. Heads up. Yes, the stress of it all. Well, you have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Might have to go back and adjust this later. But check, if you have a channel, you better check all your tags. Heads up. Check the tags. You probably have nothing for people to search. Good thing I checked the tags. All of a sudden there's like just 2 words there. That's not what I put. Why is it gone? Why can't I see my tip jar? That's another thing. So it's on the feed. Take care. Have a wonderful evening. This is second day down of the weekend. And tomorrow's Monday, and we'll start the count all over again. Take care. I think I can go lay down.